All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Castle home of your Lakeside Lancers as the Lancers take on Ramona High School, the Rams out of Riverside. Coach G, it's nice to have you for the broadcast. Let's talk a little bit about the captains that are going out there to do the coin toss.
So for Ramona, we've got Brandon Osayande. I hope I said that right. I apologize, Brandon, if I didn't. Vincent Carbajal, as well as it looks like they've got some big boys out there with them. Casey Sanchez and Carlos Hernandez, both O-line, D-line type guys. And for Lakeside, it looks like we brought a few big boys out there. McGuire Cole, Isaac Solano, and Saleh Lamasutele out there representing Lakeside tonight for the first game for both teams this season.
Let's talk a little bit about Saleh Lamasutele. What kind of impact is he going to have? This is his senior season. What kind of impact do you think he's going to have on the defense? In my
mind, it's big play waiting to happen, defensively or offensively. The guy's explosive and dynamic. And last year, he both caught long touchdown passes and made huge tackles and hits defensively. So I'm anticipating much of the same this year. And again, as a senior, where we've got some voids to fill, both defensively and offensively, I look for a guy like Saleh to step up a little bit this year.
So is there anybody else on defense that you kind of singled out in terms of their performance last year and who you expect big things from this year?
Well, one guy that I was excited about last year and a little bit shocked by last year was one of the captains, Isaac Solano. In my mind, he kind of came out of nowhere. Now, I'm not inside the program, so I wouldn't have had any inside information. Perhaps the coaching staff was well aware of him right from the get-go, but he was one that surprised me and was a great hitter defensively and a good leader from the linebacking position. And a guy that missed the first half of the season but came on late was Cameron Johnson, number 35, a D-end, who I'm really looking to make multiple big plays with his explosiveness and athleticism on the edge this year.
All right, so we're about to get started with the Lakeside Lancers taking on the Ramona Rams. Coach, what do you think about this game tonight? What are we looking for?
I wish I had something concrete to go with, but I just don't. It's with so much graduated from Lakeside last year, and Ramona's an unknown. We've never played them, so we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
All right, so again, we're waiting for the kickoff for the first half. So let's talk a little bit about the kicking game as we're getting set for the Lancers to kick off to Ramona. What are we looking for in terms of the kicking game, Coach?
Hang on a second, Rich.
Yeah, you're good. So Coach Gilliland is doing two jobs at once, kind of like similar to what I'm doing. I'm doing the PA announcing, and we're also announcing this game. We're going to be posting this on YouTube. And so this is our first broadcast of the season, so we're kind of still working out the kinks a little bit.
Well, the kink is involved with the new keyboard here. We got a new scoreboard, new system, and so I'm looking at buttons that I've never had before. So I figured it out though.
Yeah,
I oriented myself, and we're good now.
Yeah, learning on the fly is an interesting experience.
Absolutely, makes it fun. Got some sweat on the upper lip already. All right, we're good to go. It's football season.
So let's get this season started. Again, Andres Banda, who we'll probably have time to talk about later, is going to do the kickoff duties here. Kickoff goes back to Ramona, and it sails into the end zone for a touchback.
I imagine we'll see quite a bit of that this year.
Andres Banda, kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10, Ramona High School. So you mentioned that we're going to see quite a bit of that this year. We saw actually quite a bit of that last year as well. Andres is excellent at kickoff duties.
Yeah, that's a weapon every coach would love to have, especially at the high school level. If you can force your opponent to go 80 yards each time they've got the ball, that's quite a tall task for most high school programs.
Penalty flag on the play.
I think we got a little head start on Ramona, and that's exactly what it is.
False start against Ramona. 5-yard penalty. Brings up first down and 15.
I imagine, unfortunately, we're going to see quite a bit of laundry tonight. You know, first game of the season. Oh, even though it's week 1, and these guys have been practicing for many weeks now, that's probably going to happen quite a bit.
Handoff goes to number 9, who's tackled down. Handoff goes to Dante Roby. Tackled at the 23-yard line. Gain of 8. Brings up second down and 6. Ramona quarterback goes out of bounds. Quarterback keeper by Brandon Osoyandi. Run out of bounds.
That was pretty good pursuit there from the outside linebacker, and that's Cameron Johnson right there. McGuire Cole he lost contain there, but Cameron Johnson was able to come up there and help him out. Force the quarterback out of bounds.
Third down and 7. Brendan Osoyandi passes incomplete. Brings up fourth down.
It's a great first series for the Lakeside defense. 3 and out. No, they were aided by a penalty, but still, you've got your defense off the field now and put the ball in an offense that has a lot of question marks. So let's see what happens early.
All right, so back to receive for the Lancers. Paul Brandon, but Ramona defense basically downs the ball about the 46-yard line. Actually, the 48-yard line. The punt is down by the Rams at the 48-yard line of the Lancers. First and 10, Lancers. So here's our opportunity to get our first look at the Lancer offense. Dakota Pope goes out there to take the reins of the offense. Vince Gastelum, as we mentioned in the pregame show, Coach G is back there, set just to the left of Dakota. Handoff goes to Sully Levis-Atelli, who breaks to containment to the left side, goes all the way. He's going to score a touchdown! Touchdown, Lakeside Lancers!
And that's exactly what I was talking about right there. Sully's a great, big, powerful individual, and there it was, a score on the first touch of the game for the Lakeside Lancers. That was great misdirection. Ramona in a 4-4 expecting inside run, and they gave it to Saleh on a counter coming around the other side, and there was one block he needed. He got it, and then he beat the corner to the edge.
How about that, Coach? First play of the season on offense, and the Lancers score. Huge 52-yard touchdown run by Saleh Levis-Atelli. On to attempt the extra point is Andres Banda. There is a flag on the play. Penalty flag on the play. Offside against the Rams. On to attempt the point after touchdown, Andres Banda. Point after touchdown is good. With 10 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Ramona High School 0, your Lakeside Lancers 7.
It's kind of like playing golf. You go out on the first hole, you get a par. See what happens.
Making a guest appearance on the show is Mr. Jeff Roach, who is our cameraman doing cameraman duties tonight. So thanks, Mr. Roach, for handling the duties. Marine Corps veteran. Hooah!
Well, it's probably about as good of a start Lakeside could have hoped for.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
don't get me wrong. It's not like the coaches aren't going to take that 7 points, but I imagine at some point in time they're going to want to see their offense churn out a couple of first downs here just for the sake of knowing that they can do that.
Michael Sandoval with the kickoff return, tackle down.
Cameron Johnson coming in there, working on kickoff coverage.
Tackle down by Cameron Johnson. Ball will be spotted at the 20-yard line. Correction, 21-yard line. 1st and 10 Rams. So here are the Rams coming out for their second possession.
Run a spread formation. They're in a 40 formation or 41 formation with one back, no tight ends. They're going to try and spread the Lancers out and create holes with their spacing.
Dante Roby with the carry. Tackle down at the 24-yard line, gain of 2. 2nd down and 8. Brandon Osonde hands the ball to fumble.
And it looks like it's going to be Lakeside's ball. That's a great job by that was Cameron Johnson in there getting a big hand in there. That I tell you what, these boys that we highlighted in the pregame sure are coming to play early on today.
Fumble recovered by the Lancers. 1st and 10 Lakeside. All right, so the Lancers again with the short field. First possession they took at the 48-yard line, scored on their first play, and now they take over at the 24. Dakota Pope takes a snap, scrambles to the right, throws down the field, and is complete. Dakota Pope pass complete.
There's Johnson again, making a good catch there. That was a well-thrown ball by Dakota Pope. Only Johnson could have caught it there.
Vince Johnson with the catch. Tackled down at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 Lancers.
So not the Lakeside team we saw last year where it was turn around and hand it to number 10 and see what happens. Much different this year.
Vince Gastelum, the ball carrier.
Ramona did a good job of staying home there. That was actually Cameron Johnson on another counter play there, and Bobby Villalobos just stayed home and made that play.
Correction, Cameron Johnson on the carry. Tackled down at the 19-yard line. Loss of 4 yards on the play. 2nd down and 14. Dakota Pope hands off to Vince Gastelum, who takes it right up the middle. Vince Gastelum, the ball carrier. Tackled at the 16-yard line. Gain of 3 yards, brings up 3rd down and 11. Okay, so let's see if the Lancers can convert on this 3rd down and long. Dakota Pope takes the snap back, and he is going to be sacked in the backfield.
Ramona brought a blitz that time, and they had 6 and only 5 protecting. Ramona brought 6 and only 5 were protecting, so there's going to be someone free, and Dakota wasn't able to step up through that. So here's the first of what I assume to be many field goal attempts this year by Andy Banda.
Ball is spotted at the 24-yard line, 4th down. So Andres Banda in to attempt, looks like a 40-yard field goal. Snap is good, kick is up, and it is good! Andres Banda kick is good, with 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Ramona High School 0, Lakeside Lancers 10.
Well, I'm sure Andy will be glad to have that out of the way, because he'll tell you that was not his best swing on that, but it's 3 points, and he's got that first one under his belt, and now we're up by 2 possessions after 2 possessions.
So Andres Banda was talking to me last year about the possibility of kicking in college. Coach, what do you think his chances are?
It's going to be about consistency with him. He's never really been coached, so if he decides to go kick in college or tries to pursue kicking in college, it's going to be a school that wants him for his leg and then can coach him. With the specialization that exists now, these kids have been coached kicking, passing, running since they were young boys, and he hasn't been, so it'll be a wait and see game for him, although the leg, which there's another touchback, is going to warrant a serious look for him at the very, very least.
Andres Banda kickoff goes to the end zone for a touchback. Rams will take over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. So, Coach, we had a punt by the Rams that went to the 48-yard line. A fumble that was recovered at the 24-yard line. This is the Rams' 3rd possession. Let's see if they can kind of get things together.
Tell you what, there's Cameron Johnson again making good plays in the backfield. Oh,
penalty
wow.
flags all over the place. Penalty flag on the play.
From all indications and all the body language, it looks like this one's going to go against Lakeside. Maybe some extracurriculars there by Jalen Moore, excuse me. Yeah, that's exactly
personal foul against the Lancers.
So, unfortunately, we have a great play by a Lakeside D lineman wiped out by some extracurricular activity there.
Coach, is that a mistake, or is that more of a, you want to kind of assert your toughness, meanness early on in the game?
I think that's probably a little bit of both, and also a bit of we get to hit somebody else now instead of our own team that we're smacking day in and day out. Now we get to play against another team, and so there's probably some adrenaline going there that just hasn't been harnessed quite yet.
Brandon Soyunde, pass complete.
Paul Branham there to make a tackle, and
Brandon Soyunde, pass complete. Ball is spotted at the 43-yard line. Gain of 7 yards on the play. Correction, 8 yards on the play. 2nd down and 2. Penalty flag on the play. False start against the Rams. 5-yard penalty. Brings up 2nd down and 7. So like you said earlier, Coach, a lot of laundry already in this game.
Yeah, it's early. That I imagine that's going to happen quite a bit.
Brendan Asoyande's pitch goes to the left side.
Got 3rd and what looks like a long 2 here.
Vincent Carbajal, the ball
Be
carrier.
interesting to see what Ramona does.
3rd down and
Been
1.
able to get some movement inside against Lakeside's interior line.
Brendan Asoyande takes the handoff, runs out of bounds at about the 46-yard line, 47-yard line of the Lancers. Brendan Asoyande, the ball carrier, run out of bounds at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 Rams. Handoff goes right up the middle. Dante Roby. Big run up the middle. Tackled at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 Rams.
So Ramona trying to go fast, push the tempo. It's a couple of 1st downs in consecutive plays. See how Lakeside responds defensively. Broken tackle in the backfield there.
Dante Roby, the ball carrier.
Got Solano and Lamasatelli there to make the stop.
Tackled down at the 31-yard line. Gain of 2 yards. 2nd down and 8. Brendan Asoyande goes back into the pocket, tosses to the right side, passes, deflected, out of bounds.
It's a great play by Derek Andrews out there. It's a really good play closing down and breaking that pass up. Ball was up there for a long time, so it gave him some opportunity to go get it. But still, you got to make the play, and that's a real good play by Andrews there.
Brendan Asoyande passes incomplete. 3rd down and 8. All right, so as you mentioned, Coach, Rams getting a little bit of momentum. Lancer defense looking to step up. Asoyande tosses back. Oh, and he's crushed!
It's a great job by Juan Ramirez sniffing out that screen, because I tell you what, if he doesn't stay home there, there's a lot of room to run. All of the D linemen thought they smelled quarterback blood, and the O-line of Ramona let him go for the screen.
Incomplete. 4th
It's
down.
a great play by Ramirez staying home. So they're going to go for it here on 4th.
Brendan Asoyande.
And
he's
wow.
thrown down, tackled down,
I
back
tell you
all
what.
the way to the 38-yard line.
Cameron Johnson again putting his stamp on the game early on, because he came off the edge before that left tackle even got a chance to move his foot. He was 2 steps by him.
Lancers take over on downs. Ball is spotted at the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 Lancers. Officials talking something over.
Not quite sure what's going on. Oh, they're going to wave that flag off. Flag got thrown by the near linesman over here on the home side. I'm not quite sure what he was throwing that for, but regardless, it's 1st and 10 Lakeside. Change of possession.
Dakota Pope hands out to Vince Gastelum, trying to push forward, tackled down for a loss.
Tell you what, Ramona's doing a good job getting a push up front, because that's only the 2nd or 3rd time I think Gastelum's had the ball, and each time he's had to worry about defenders immediately.
Vince Gastelum, the ball carrier, tackled down for a loss. 2nd down and 12. Dakota Pope looking at the plays, seeing what play to call based on the defense. Ball snapped. Dakota Pope tosses it out to the right.
Look there, trying to get a quick slip screen into Gage Robert's hand. He's pretty quick senior there, but didn't have a whole lot of room to run. Well defended by Ramona.
Dakota Pope's pass complete to Gage Roberts. Gain of 2 yards. 3rd down and 10. All right, so here we go. Big 3rd down and long. Dakota Pope goes back to pass, tosses a middle screen to Vince Gastelum. Dakota Pope pass complete to Vince Gastelum. Tackle down at the 44-yard line. Gain of 7 yards brings up 4th down.
So I mentioned in the opening that Lakeside's a team that has to play ahead of the chains, and losing yardage on 1st down isn't something that's going to bode well for them. Again, it's early. It's only week 1, but they have to play ahead of the chains, meaning they've got to get positive yards, and not just 1 or 2, but 3, 4, 5 yards on 1st down in order for their offense to be at its most effective. So looking to punt here.
Lancer punt goes all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Rams take over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
It was actually a really good punt by Isaiah Saucedo there. Just took a unfortunate bounce, right, if it was from 15 yards further back, but unfortunate bounce because he's trying to pin him deep, and Ramona's got to bring the ball out from the 20.
Rams take over. Handoff goes to Dante Roby.
A couple of Lancer defenders, Ronnie Kopp and some others, that had an opportunity there for him in the backfield, but slowed him up enough to where that looked like that could have been a much bigger run.
Dante Roby, the ball carrier,
ends up only a gain of 3 or 4.
Tackle down at the 24-yard line. Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Brandon Osoyende pitches to the left. The Lancer defense throws him back in the backfield.
I realize it's early, Rich, and I know I've said it already, but we mentioned him in our open, and Cameron Johnson is all over this game right now. It's only 1 quarter, but that's got to be his 3rd or 4th big play defensively already tonight.
Dante Roby throwing in the backfield. Loss of 4 yards on the play, brings up 3rd down and 10. Brendan Asoyende goes back, tosses it up the middle to Dante Roby, who breaks it open. Tackle from behind.
And that's the second screen that they've run tonight. And I mentioned last time, Juan Ramirez stayed home and was able to keep that from being a big play. This time, Ramirez not on the field.
Dante Roby, the ball carrier.
That turns into a very, very big gain there for Ramona.
Ball is spotted at the 46-yard line of the Lancers. 1st and 10 Rams. Brendan Asoyende, the ball carrier.
Dylan Baumhoff down there making the tackle. He's a little slow getting up there.
Ball is spotted at the 42-yard line. Gain of 4 yards brings up 2nd down and 6. Brandon Asoyende hands off to Dante Roby. Dante Roby, the ball carrier. Ball is placed at the 40-yard line. Gain of 2. 3rd down and 4.
So Ramona's given some read option looks, but it's pretty obvious that they're not running a true read option. It's coming in from the sideline, whether it's a give or whether it's a pull.
Timeout. That's the end of the first quarter. End of the first quarter, Ramona High School 0. Your Lakeside Lancers 10.
So I'm sure the coaches are down there figuring out what to do about this drive here, but I gotta imagine that at this point in time, if you would have told them, 12 hours ago, hey, you're gonna be up 10-0 at the end of the first quarter, had a big play, some good defensive stands, and a couple of hiccups and some penalties, they'd been quite all right with that.
He'll move when they're coming this way.
All right, so Ramona High School starts the second quarter with the ball, 3rd down and 4. Brendan Asoyende pass complete to Dante Roby.
So it seems like Ramona's pretty content to just let Lakeside's defenders pin their ears back and come and dump the ball off to their running back there and let him get some easy yards. Lakeside playing man coverage.
Brendan Asoyende pass incomplete.
And so that's what happens. You dump the ball off a handful of times and you get your corners and your safeties rolling up with their eyes in the backfield. And that's a miss right there. Lakeside's fortunate because that was a touchdown had the ball been put in a better place by the quarterback.
Brendan Asoyende pass is incomplete, 2nd down and 10. Brendan Asoyende spun around in the backfield. getting up a little slow.
Good pressure there by Lakeside. That was line backing work right there from Solano and Juan Ramirez. The two of them looked like they had a little dog going on, crossing through the A-gaps and put some pressure on him. A little confusion on the offensive line by Ramona.
Brendan Asoyande passes incomplete. 3rd down and 10. Correction, 4th down and 10. Brandon Soyende looks to scramble around. Run out of bounds.
Oh, we got a
Penalty flag on the play.
late.
Penalty flag on the play. I don't know about.
That would be one of those things
I don't know about
you,
that one,
you
Coach.
wish you had instant replay because
It looked like he was
that's
falling down.
That's one of those things. I think you put that flag in your pocket. Again, home announcer and home team, but I like to think I'm pretty impartial. That one that was questionable, but we don't have that in high school, so it looks like Ramona's going to get a gift first down out of this.
Right. Personal foul is against the Lancers.
Coach Chandler down there having a conversation with the linesman, trying to maybe get a little information from him. And I think he has every right to ask that question because boys are playing hard.
Yeah.
No whistle blown, and that most definitely did not appear to be. Wait, what do we got going on here? It looks like we have a change of possession taking place, or are we?
Well, I think, Coach, it was after the play, correct? So,
okay, all right. So it was a dead ball personal foul.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so maybe they were not calling the penalty of tackling out of bounds. Maybe they were.
I think, that's obviously exactly right because it's first down for Lakeside here, backed up.
Correction, the penalty was after the play. The Lancers take over 1st and 10. Okay, handoff goes to Vince Gastelum, who breaks it up to the left side. Vince Gastelum, the ball carrier.
Ramona seems pretty quick defensively, so the urgency to get going north and south is going to be pretty high there for Lakeside running backs. Sure ran a lot for only about 3 yards there.
Gain of 3 yards on the play brings up 2nd down and 7.
Loss of a yard there, and since that first drive, Lakeside's had a little bit of a rough go moving the football here. Ramona flying around a little bit defensively.
Yeah, it appears that Ramona is not short on athletes, that's for sure.
Doesn't
Dakota
appear that
Pope
way.
Scrambles out to the right. Pass is complete. Can't quite see the signal down there.
Yeah, it looks like they're calling it complete. I tell you what, that's a great throw and another great catch by Lamasatelli.
Dakota Pope pass complete to Sale Lamasatelli. Gain is good enough for another Lancer. First down.
That's big right there because that prevents your defense from going right back out on the field.
Dakota Pope's pass. I think they're going to rule that incomplete, right, Coach?
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, I see the linesman on the far side blowing it dead, incomplete.
Dakota Pope's pass is incomplete. Brings us 2nd down and 10. Dakota Pope takes the snap, hands out to Saleh Lamasatelli. Saleh Lamasatelli, the ball carrier.
That play took a long time developing there. He had a long way to go to get that. Another counter similar to what they were trying to do or what they did do in the first quarter on that first play of the game with the long touchdown, just slightly different formation. So he was coming from a little bit further away, and Ramona was wise to it that time.
Dakota Pope in the backfield, tries to scramble away. Looks like he lost the ball. Got popped pretty good, Coach.
I think he just didn't put the ball away. Yeah, Ramona football.
Dakota Pope fumble recovered by the Rams.
So that's a turnover apiece for each team now. In deep in the opponent territory. So we'll see if Ramona can capitalize like Lakeside was able to.
Ball will be placed at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10 Rams. Brandon Asoyande back to pass, scrambling around. There is a flag down. Pass is incomplete.
We're going to get a hold there on the right tackle. Juan Ramirez had the edge, and you could just see him get yanked back. That's an easy call for the referee to make there.
Penalty flag on the play. Holding. Rams. 10-yard penalty.
Tell you what, Ramona's quarterback has had a couple of seconds, but then he started to move outside of the pocket, and that really hasn't helped his offensive line. He could have stayed in there, but Lakeside's done a decent job in the defensive backfield tonight so far. We'll see if that can continue as the night wears on.
Handoff goes to Dante Roby. Dante Roby, the ball carrier. Ball is spotted at the 38-yard line. 2nd down and 20. Oh, great tackle by the defense.
Tell you what, that's a pretty good job right there by Marcel Long. He was fooled on that reverse, but he didn't quit. He came in and pursued down the line of scrimmage, and when Johnson made the receiver cut back on that reverse, Long was ready to put him to the turf there.
Misael Sandoval, the ball carrier. Ball is spotted at the 36-yard line. 3rd down and 18. Brandon Asoyande scrambling around. Ball is intercepted.
That's a really good play. That's the second great play by Derek Andrews in the defensive backfield. Ramona quarterback motion in for his receiver to take it to the end zone, and he just underthrew him. Andrews undercut it. Interception, ball going the other way.
Lancer interception returned to the 39-yard line. 1st and 10, Lancers. Dakota Pope gets the snap. Hands out to Vince Gastelum, who's rumbling up the right side, tackled down at the 41-yard line. Vince Gastelum, the ball carrier. Gain of 2 yards on the play, 2nd down and 8. Dakota Pope takes the snap, scrambles up the middle, and knocked down pretty close to the line of scrimmage.
I'm not quite sure what that was there. I couldn't tell if that was a designed run. So he had a few receivers downfield. May have been a little bit of confusion there because Pope looked to tuck that ball and run almost immediately.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a little bit of miscommunication on a potential handoff or if that was like a read option type of play where the quarterback just basically read the wrong option.
It's hard to say with the action because the offensive line. Oh, that seemed like a real quick delay.
Delay a game against the Lancers.
Not too often you see a hurry-up offense get called for delay of game.
Dakota Pope scrambles to the right side, tosses over. Penalty flag on the play.
Lakeside's going to get bailed out there on a roughing the passer call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer against the Rams.
You can tell that it's earlier in the year because the head referee just gave the signal for intentional grounding instead of roughing the passer. So they're still ironing out some kinks as well.
Yeah, we're all a little slow tonight.
Oh yeah.
You know, but Coach, we're doing a good job of rallying up here in the booth. You know, we're kind of got things under control with a little bit of a rush start and kind of scrambling around and
It's
getting
amazing.
all our equipment set up.
We had a late kickoff, and still we're rushed from the get-go.
Vincent Gastelum just plowing up to the 41-yard line.
Now, not that they're going to be able to get that every time out, but that's more of what I mean by playing ahead of the chains. You know, you can't expect to get 9 yards every time.
Vince Gastelum, the ball carrier. 9-yard gain, 2nd down and 1.
When you're 2nd and 1, 2nd and 3, you know, 2nd and 4, it opens up the playbook a little bit. It's a little hard to call plays when you're 2nd and 9.
Vincent Gastelum dives forward toward the 39-yard line. Vince Gastelum, the ball carrier. Gain is good enough for another Lancer. 1st down.
There we go. A 1-yard run on 2nd and 9 doesn't help you out a lot. A 1-yard run on 2nd and 1 is 1st down, and now you got fresh sticks. So quite a bit different.
Dakota Pope tosses the ball way out of bounds, and then he's a little slow getting up.
There was a miscommunication in the protection there. You've got a bunch of offensive linemen standing around talking to each other right now because he took that snap and had a hand in his face almost immediately. It's a good thing he had a receiver in the area, otherwise that's intentional grounding. And we know the referee knows that signal.
Yeah, you got to give the sophomore some credit. I mean, he's a tough kid. He basically came in and rallied the Lancers to that victory against Elsinore, and he's taken a pretty good beating penalty flag on the play there.
I think they're going to get number 8 from Ramona there on leading with the crown. Unfortunately, football's a bit different from the game you covered in your days as a journalist, and when I played in my days in the mid to late 90s. It's changed quite a bit. Not saying it's good, bad, or otherwise, but it's just quite a bit different.
Yeah, he took a pretty good shot. I mean, just as I was talking about his toughness.
Yep. That's the second time I've seen him, though, even before that hit. That second time I've seen him tonight kind of bobbling the ball as he's trying to put it away. So that's ball security is going to be something that he's going to, I'm sure, be coached about on film on Saturday morning or Friday afternoon, perhaps, as we sit here on a Thursday night.
Yeah, especially when you're the offense that the Lancers have. You can't afford too many turnovers.
Absolutely. Yep.
Just kills the momentum.
Yep. So let's see, with 4 minutes left in the half here, Lakeside, moving into positive territory here now inside the 30-yard line of the Rams. This has to be points now if you're Coach Chandler. You don't want to get conservative in your play calling, but you got a kid in Andy Banda that can kick another 40-yard field goal for you.
Personal foul is against the Rams. Ball is spotted at the 23-yard line. 1st and 10, Lancers. Dakota Pope hands off to Vince Gastelum, again trying to squeeze out a yard or two.
It seems that the player that's making the vast majority of the plays for Ramona on Gastelum in the running game, it tends to be the backside end. And it looks like the backside tackle for Lakeside is trying to get a punch and then get up to an inside linebacker, and the punch just isn't coming because the backside end's getting down the line and getting Gastelum before he can even really get going.
Dakota Pope. Well, that play's not going anywhere, Coach.
Well, it's a good thing we had a whistle there, because that ball appeared to be coming out, but the officials blew forward progress, and that's the difference of the high school game. Even though there wasn't really much progress at all, Ramona was in the backfield very, very quickly.
Yeah, that's gonna put a lot of pressure on the Lancers, and that's why they're gonna call a timeout. Timeout, Lancers. So again, with 3 minutes to go in this contest, or in the first half of this contest, ball spotted about the 31-yard line.
I think if you're Coach Chandler in the huddle down there, you're not trying to get 17 yards in a first down here.
No.
I think you're trying to look down your play sheet there and see if you can find a play that'll get you 8, maybe 10 yards. And if your receiver can do some good work, after the fact, great. But if you can connect on a, 7-8 yard, short to medium pass there, give Andy Banda a chance to bang another one through the uprights, you'll take 13 points here with a few minutes left in the half.
That was kind of a cool exchange there. Dakota Pope giving a little bit of a slap there to the offensive lines. Hoping that they kind of get things sorted out here.
Just give me a second, boys. Just need a little extra time.
Dakota Pope takes a snap, goes back into the pocket, throws over to, and that was a perfect play. Dakota Pope showing a lot of courage, getting that ball out.
Wide open Cameron Johnson over there, and I think he just tried to get upfield before he secured the ball. And it looks like Chandler's going to run Banda out there for a long field goal anyway.
Dakota Pope's pass is incomplete. So we got Andres Banda attempting a 48-yard field goal. Snap is a little high, got down, and it is no good. Andres Banda kick is no good.
So here's a difference in the rules here in high school. College and professional ranks, you turn that ball over right where that kick was from. High school ranks, that ball made it, was wide of the upright there. So that's a touchback, and Ramona's got to go the length of the field in order to get any points before half here.
Rams take over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Brandon Osoyende pass is complete. Gain is good enough for a Rams first down. Brandon Osoyende hands off to Dante Roby. Just trying to squeeze some more yardage.
A lot of broken tackles there. And here's where we need to see how Ramona's up-tempo offense begins to wear, if it begins to wear, on Lakeside here. Ramona's had more plays than Lakeside.
Dante Roby, the ball carrier, takes the ball to the 49-yard line, 1st and 10 Rams. Dante Roby again with the carry. Knocked down at the 49-yard line of the Lancers.
It's a good job by the defensive end there, Marcel Long, staying home. It's tough as a DN to take your eyes off the quarterback.
Brandon Osoyende pass is complete. Brandon Osoyende pass complete to number 40, Giovanni Robidello. Ball is spotted at the 40-yard line of the Lancers, 1st and 10 Rams. Brandon Osoyende looking down the right side, tosses it toward the end zone, and it is broken up.
I tell you what, that is a absolutely great job by Isaiah Saucedo getting his head around at the last minute, because he was beat. That's a good job defensively, just locating the football and making a play there.
Brandon Osoyende pass is incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
That was another well-thrown ball from the Ramona quarterback. It's a couple of balls so far in this drive that he's put right on the money, and that was just a good defensive play away from being a touchdown.
Brandon Osoyende takes the snap, tosses off to, and it's almost intercepted.
It's another screen play there by Ramona. Seems like screens have really become a part of the modern game. Slip screen, middle screen. There's a slip screen right there, and again, if that catch is made, a lot of running room available.
Brandon Osoyende pass is incomplete, 3rd down and 10. Timeout. Timeout, Lancers. So, Coach, minute 37 seconds left in the first half, and we are looking with the Rams having the ball at the 40-yard line. What do the Lancers really need to key on here?
Well, I think if you're Lakeside, you got to watch out for screens because that's something that Ramona has hurt you with a few times already. And then your outside corners, if they're singled up in man or if they're playing a third or a quarter system here, your outside defensive backs have got to stay disciplined.
Brendan Asayende scrambles to the right, tosses it down the field, almost intercepted again.
Tell you what, early pressure from Isaac Solano really forced the hand of Ramona's quarterback there. He was rolling well before he wanted to.
Brendan Asayende pass is incomplete. 4th down and 10.
If you're Ramona, you got to go for it right now. There's no harm in doing that. Lakeside's down to 1 timeout, so they haven't really shown the ability to have a big play, with the exception of that very first play. So,
timeout Rams. Okay, so we got a 4th down, Coach. If you're the Ramona coach, do you go for it? Do you give the Lancers an opportunity to maybe get the ball down the field in range for Andres Bond to kick, or do you
I
the
think
ball
you
down
do.
there tight?
Yeah, no, I absolutely think you give it a go. Again, like I said, with the exception of the very first play of the game, Lakeside hasn't really shown the ability yet to get chunk yardage. And at this point in time, if you turn the ball over here at the 40-yard line, I realize there's a minute and a half left, but you've got to get a couple of chunk plays in order to get in any sort of field goal range. And although he made his first kick, it probably, he would tell you it wasn't his best attempt, and the second one was nowhere close. So if you're Ramona's coaching staff, you're willing to give up 30 yards or so and a 40-yard field goal attempt again.
Brendan Asayende goes back. Oh, and he pitches it forward.
That's going to be illegal touching because he pitched it to an O-lineman. It's a loss of down and Lakeside ball anyway. So now we've got a different scenario because you lost 10 yards on that play. It's a great job by Solano. That's a delayed Mac blitz there, and he came in right away and
illegal
got himself
touching
a sack.
penalty against the Rams. Ball is given back over to the Lancers. Ball be spotted at the 48-yard line of the Lancers. First and 10, Lancers.
All right, so now we'll get to see Dakota Pope, I imagine, try and make a few throws to get Lakeside within striking distance for some more points here.
Well, like I said, Coach, he's been hanging tough in that pocket, getting the throws out, and just the Lancer receivers are just not making the plays they need to keep drives going. There's a great pass.
That's more along what Lakeside is going to need to do. Soften the defense up with some quick three-step, one-step drop throws and get that ball out quick to get that blitz slowed down.
Dakota Pope pass is complete. First and 10, Lancers. Dakota Pope goes back into the pocket, surveys the field, and again tosses it out to the left side, and another drop.
And although that may have only been 4 or 5 yards, it's now 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6 instead of 2nd and 10. And granted, with a minute left in the half, it doesn't change what you're doing. We got a late flag coming in there, it looks like.
Penalty flag on the play. Apparently, Saleh said something to somebody. and that got him a flag. He's kind of sheepishly running off the field. He's getting a little talking to over there.
Oh, looks like it's going against Ramona. I wonder if somebody from the Ramona sideline happened to say something
To Saleh.
and the linesman over on that far side heard it or saw what went on.
Well, that's interesting. Like I said, Saleh was kind of like running over there to the sideline.
Yep. Well, that's a gift.
Looking like he was going to get an earful.
That's a gift there for Lakeside. And again, early in the season, those sorts of mistakes, you're never okay with them, but those sorts of mistakes are the mistakes that you point out at film the next day and say, these things can't happen.
Penalty flag is against the Rams. First and 10 Lancers. Dakota Pope goes back to pass. Tosses it over the left side. Oh, and it's incomplete.
Johnson just couldn't locate the ball.
Turned the wrong way.
Turned the outside. Ball got thrown. He turned to the inside, and the ball was thrown on his outside shoulder, right where he was looking originally.
It was a perfect
and
pass,
I think that's
Coach.
that's got to be one of those things. Last year, Cameron Johnson did not play offense. He was a defensive player, strictly, and maybe not used to catching footballs, just used to chasing them, because that was a ball that was put in a perfect place by Dakota Pope.
Well, I've been really impressed with the sophomore, Coach. I mean, the kid's just making throw after throw. There's another pass up the middle to Vince Gastelum, knocked down at the 22-yard line. Dakota Pope pass complete to Vince Gastelum, 5-yard gain, 3rd down and 5. Dakota Pope goes back, sprints out to the right, gets the ball out before he's tackled. Dakota Pope pass is incomplete.
Didn't appear like anybody was really on the same page there. That looked like a little bit. I think they were probably trying to save the timeout just in case, and now they got one timeout left and a 4th down play. Obviously a kicking opportunity here. Let's see if we can't get some points this time around.
Okay, so Andres Banda attempting a 29-yard field goal. Are you serious?
Yeah, there was a firework out in the
39-yard field goal, sorry, correction. Ball's spotted, it's up, and it is
no good. Looked like he missed it wide a little bit.
Yeah, the snap wasn't all that great.
That's 2 snaps. The last 2 snaps have been less than stellar, and that's caused Carlos Ruiz a little bit of trouble. I think that's Carlos Cruz, excuse me, a little bit of trouble getting that ball down.
Andres Banda 39-yard field goal is no good. Rams take over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Coach, I don't know if you saw that, but there was a firework that went off, and considering the fires that we just went through, what a stupid thing.
Yeah,
right?
I am not quite sure what that flag is for. They call a penalty on the defense, and it looked like Lakeside was still trying to run bodies out on the field, and Ramona snapped the ball quick, and their entire offensive line was 10 yards down the field and blocking before Lakeside even knew what was going on. That's a bailout right there, and if I'm Ramona's coach, I'm a little upset from that. There again, same exact thing.
Dante Roby, the ball carrier,
That guy's
tackled
down
at
there
the
waving
40-yard line. Timeout. Timeout Rams. Well, Coach, considering that we're 5 seconds away from halftime, what have your impressions been so far of this game? What's kind of stood out to you?
It's sloppy. It's the first week of the season. Both teams are making mistakes, missed tackles. Right now, Lakeside has taken advantage of good field position on 2 occasions, their first 2 possessions of the game, and made the most of it. And the game's kind of slowed since then. Penalties, missed opportunities by both teams, really. Turnovers, that's unfortunately what a lot of week 1 games look like.
Dante Roby takes the ball up the middle, and that's the last play of the first half. Dante Roby, the ball carrier. At the end of the first half, Ramona High School 0, your Lakeside Lancers 10.